Alright, so welcome back to Heretic Wargaming. We are back in our good old shop up at the Hobby Chest. So, limited space here. They are only opening 2 tables, and so if you guys want to come play here, you got to make sure you call ahead and talk to Dan, and he will schedule you a table. So that's for now due to COVID. And so today on the other side we've got Vic. He's reading the brand new Space Marines Codex. He literally just opened it up and he's figuring out making sure that his list points match up. So we'll go ahead and cover, because Chaos didn't really change, so we'll go ahead and cover what I brought for Chaos today. So today we have Black Legion and Iron Warriors, so testing some weird stuff out. So we'll go ahead and start. I've got a Fortification network with a single Noctilith Crown, which was provided to us by Rules of Engagement Games. Thanks to Jen and John for sending that guy over to us. Then for the Black Legion detachment, we have Abaddon the Defiler, who is our Warlord. And I've spent 1 CP to do the where you get multiple Warlord traits, which means I have a Dark Apostle and I have a Chaos Sorcerer in Terminator armor. So for my relics, he's got the Angel's Bane and he's got the Black Crozius. For the Priest, I've given him Omen of Potency, which allows him to become a close combat monster. And then over here on the Sorcerer, I took Arch Sorcerer, which allows him to take a 3rd spell. So he's got Persians and 2 others. I can't remember what the other 2 are. And that's it for that detachment. And then for the Warlord trait on the Apostle, I took the gaining CP back on a 5+. Then we got 3 units of 10 Cultists and a single Hellforged Scorpius. And 2 Defilers. So the one that has the pink on him, he's Marcus slaanesh, and this one is Marcus Zinch for this game. Then, over here, for the Iron Warriors... do I have 3? No, I didn't have the 3rd unit of cultists. Sorry, guys. Because I swapped these guys out. Yeah, take those out. Because I actually took a unit of 7 Chaos Space Marines with a single chainaxe and a... plasma, just because I had points. And then over here for the Iron Warriors detachment, we have a single sorcerer. He is Marcus Zinch and he is Marcus slaanesh, just with a 4 sword and a pistol. We've got 5 Havoks with 4 Reaper chaincannons, 3 Obliterators, and a unit of 30 Mark of slaanesh duders, those guys. Yeah, cultists. And that is it for Chaos. 2,000 points. All right, Vic, with his Space Wolves, what'd you bring, buddy?
Alright, so I brought a Wolf Lord on Thunderwolf. He's going to be my Warlord. He's going to have the, what do they call it? The Mountain Breaker Helm for his relic.
Oh, okay.
And that essentially, just looked at it. I get to do some additional attacks before you consolidate.
Okay.
So, then I brought Relic as my 2nd HQ. Then I brought some for my troops. I brought some Incursors.
Ooh.
I brought some Blood Claws. And then I brought 2 squads of Intercessors.
Okay.
Standard Intercessors. And then I have a squad of Assault Intercessors that will be riding in the
Impulsor? Yeah.
Impulsor, yeah. And then I have 2 squads of 3 at Thunderwolf Cab. They're going to have Thunderhammer Storm Shields.
Okay.
I mean, they're not WYSIWYG, but it is what it is.
They all have Thunderhammers. All right.
I brought the Outrider detachment. Or not detachment. Outriders, Eradicators, squad of 5 Hellblasters, the Wolfen, 4 Thunderhammer Storm Shield, 1 with the Frost Claws.
Yep.
And then I brought a squad of Terminators. So even though he's got the assault cannon, he's going to have the Stormbolter with the Cyclone Missile Launcher and a Power Fist. He's going to have his Storm Shield and Power Fist, not a Thunderhammer. And then the other 3 are going to have Power Fist Combi Meltas.
Okay, so 3 Meltas instead of bolters.
Yeah, I ran the Combi Meltas, so that's both worlds.
Lots of Meltas, lots of Meltas.
Yeah.
And there you go. He has 2,009 points. We did talk and agree, so I was at 1997-ish, so I just tacked in 2 more cultists, and we called it fair. So, yeah, so we'll go ahead, we'll move to deployment, and we will be back. Alright, so we are back after deploying. So today we are playing the Scouring from the GT mission, mission book, mission 2-3, or I like to label them 1-8, so it's mission 6. And so here we are on deployment. So the Space Wolves won off the roll-off to deploy first. He's basically deployed in a giant blob on the other side of this wall right there. He's got the, inside the Impulsor, he's got his 5 assault intercessors, and then the 5-man Terminator squad is deep striking. Behind this building, he's got one of the intercessor squads down there, and then the blood claws right there. Here in the middle, he's got his incursors holding up the center. And then over here on the Chaos side, so I've got the 7 Chaos Space Marines on this side with the 2 Defilers. We've got the character blob with Abaddon, the Apostle Sorcerer. We've got some Obliterators over here, along with all the Cultists. So me and Vic did talk it out. We're not counting the base of this, so I'm 3 inches from the wall, 3 inches from the wall here. And we've got the Hellforged Scorpius hiding out right there. Spent 1 CP, we've got some dudes outflanking. So that being said, let's roll off to see who goes first. Hey! He got a 2, I got a 2, so we gotta roll again. I got a 4. He got a 1. I think I will choose to go first this game. So we will come back at the end of Chaos's turn 1. No worries. So forgot to record our mission. So for me, I took deploy scanners, while we stand we fight, which is the slaanesh, Defiler, Abaddon, and the Hellforged Scorpius in the back. And then engage on all fronts. And then Vic, he took grind them down, line breaker, and assassination. So we will be back at the end of Chaos's turn 1. Alright, here we are at the end of Chaos's turn 1. So I basically hosed down his Hellblasters. He's got 1 left with the Hellforged Scorpius. Everything was basically out of range. I advanced these cultists, those cultists, the Obliterators. The Sorcerer just moved up behind them. The Dark Apostle with his little squad buddies advanced. Abaddon advanced. Both Defilers walked up. This Defiler and that Defiler shot at this guy, put him at 4 wounds left. And we did 1 wound to a blood claw. And then he charged in along with all of his buffs and just wiped out that squad right there. Chaos Space Marines advanced, and that's about it. So on my turn, the only thing I managed to accomplish was deploy Scramblers 1 time, and that was with the 2 Dark Apostle buddies. Beyond that, I didn't get any engage on all fronts because this guy's within 6 inches of the middle, so he doesn't count. And that is it. So we'll move over to Space Wolves turn 1 and see what Vic has in store for the Chaos. Alright, so the end of the Space Wolves turn 1. So basically Vic moved his whole entire army up around the top. He killed about 5 cultists from the 30-man cultist blob, and then everything charged into the single Defiler here in the middle. And then basically he wiped out that Defiler and just kind of moved in a giant conga line this way, which these guys are now 4 wounds apiece. I did not realize that. So, but yeah, so for the points for the turn, he didn't get any of his secondaries yet. And for my turn, I only hold 2 objectives, so that means only 5 points for me. So we will move on to Chaos's turn 2 and see what happens. Alright, the end of Chaos's turn 2. So I still have yet to score any secondary points. However, so we'll cover the turn and kind of cover where I went bad and where I went good. So over here, basically I charged everybody into these Thunderwolves here, and he lived. This guy's only got 1 wound left because he CP rerolled 1 of his. Now the Storm Shields being only a 4 up now is actually a very big thing, just putting that out there. But this guy lived with 1 wound. Well, I then consolidated all these guys around him, and I could not pick up the last wound on that dude, which prevented me from actually getting onto the center objective here. Now, I did clear him out here. The Scorpius was able to pick up his Wolf-Lord because there was only 2 Thunderwolves here and 2 dudes here because I had killed the Impulsor, which means there was nothing blocking me from shooting there. So I picked him up. And then the Obliterators, they basically had to shoot all their shots into a 3-man squad to kill it because I rolled 2-2-2 both times, but Thunderwolves now have 4 wounds, so they're a lot harder to kill. And I did kill 1 Wolfen in the back there. But at the end of his turn, so he does end up getting an assassination point because he did pick up my Sorcerer, sorry. He did kill my Sorcerer over there. And he still doesn't have a grind them down or line breaker, but he gets 10 points because I did give up that objective and I didn't secure that objective. So let's move on to Vic's turn 2. Alrighty, so the end of Space Wolf's turn 2. So he came in, he wiped out the last Defiler quite handily. I finally killed off the last of his Thunderwolf Cavalry, and then his Outriders swept over there and killed that unit of Cultists. So I'm an idiot, and I left my objectives, left myself off objectives. So I end up getting no points this turn. Yeah, I'm an idiot this game. So we'll move on to Chaos's turn 3. So the end of Chaos's turn 3. So Abaddon died to the Wolfen that swung after they died, so that was bound to happen. However, the Dark Apostle decided to go berserk and killed that entire unit of Bloodclaws. I think I ended up doing like a bazillion wounds. It was a lot of wounds. He just straight wiped the squad with the AP -4. Over there, I was able to kill one Outrider and do 2 damage to another. Wiped out everybody on that objective there. Wiped out most of his Eradicators. So he's got a few dudes here, an Eradicator, his Terminators, an HQ there, and a couple Outriders. So, but yeah, for that turn, I only ended up getting 2 engage points, but he gets no points on his turn. So this is going to be a very low-scoring game.
I do get
For... Oh yeah, you did kill Abaddon. Sorry. Yep, he gets assassinate points for that. So we were going to move on to Space Wolves turn 3. So the end of Space Wolves turn 3. This has been a really bloody game. Basically charged in, he killed most of my cultists. One more ran away, which leaves 1 dude there. These 4 dudes charged off this objective to kill my Dark Apostle. Straight up just wasted him. Over here in the back, he ended up killing the Noctilith Crown, which blew up and actually killed the rest of the Outriders and the Sorcerer back there. Also killed a big chunk of those cultists there as well. But also killed one of his dudes there. So super, super, super bloody. Now he's looking up to see whether or not Space Marines still have a fight twice stratagem, which will make a difference between me getting 10 points or 15 points. So I did not score my turn yet. However, he did end up getting, basically he's maxed out his assassination because I have no more characters. So he got 12 points for that. And grind them down. I think he got grind them down that turn too.
He's excited.
Yeah, I think he did. I'm not entirely sure. I'm pretty sure he got to grind them down, so I'm going to go ahead and just give him 3 points for that. So whether or not I get 10 or 15, we will come back at the end of Chaos's turn 4. Alright, so the end of the Chaos turn, that is turn 4. So, went ahead, killed off Ulrich, the last Eradicator, killed off 2 of the dudes from this squad. Really, really failed on those Terminators. He made a bunch of 4-up and vulnerable saves on the Storm Shield, or 3-up, because of it was only AP2. And that's about it. All he's got left is these 2 Intercessors and the 3 Terminators in the back there. Ended up getting 15 points for that turn, and then I got engaged on all fronts for being in 3/4. So the last 2 turns are just basically going to be a summary. Vic will play his turn 4 and 5, and I'll play my turn 5, and we'll come back at the end to see who is the victor. Oh, and for his turn, he's on no objectives, so he gets no primary points this turn. So. Alright, so the end of the game. So the final score ended up being 47-28. Like I said, it was going to be a low-scoring game. Basically, his Terminators walked around. They killed my last While We Stand, We Fight thing, which was the Scorpius in the back there. Then they charged into the Obliterators, ended up killing 2 of them. I basically focused my turns on killing his last Intercessors here. That way I could keep getting engaged on all fronts for my last couple turns. Because I failed on doing that earlier in the game, and he just basically didn't have enough dudes to actually hold objectives in the end. So he's over here checking the score real quick. So Vic, what were your thoughts of the game, buddy? Your first game with the new codex.
I like how the codex is laid out. That hit the Storm Shield really sucks. Bad. I lost 3 units turn 1 before they could even move or shoot or do anything, so that kind of hurt me pretty significantly. All in all, I'm actually impressed at how well I did. I figured this game would have been done like 3 turns ago. So the fact that I still have bodies on the table is impressive to me. All in all, there's a learning curve, but it's fun.
Yeah, I will definitely say the additional wounds that Marines got did matter a lot. I definitely noticed a huge difference with his blood claws. Normally, you send little cheap terrible shots at him, to kill one. I think they lived till like turn 3, right? So
they did a lot. They held a lot of They held that objective for like 3 turns.
Yeah.
And that helped significantly. Grab me some points in the beginning of the game. Just losing so much in the beginning, trying to get up the board. I mean, it's just the nature of Space Wolves. You got to get through to turn 3, and if you're not patient, you're just going to lose.
Yeah, I mean, you were clobbering stuff like the changes to Wolfen was definitely different. They're still very good though. And then Terminators having 3 wounds, that was great. I mean, I'm sure you haven't had a game of 8th or 9th where you're like, oh yeah, my Terminators lived the whole game.
That's true. And the Wolfen, they did take some hard hits. I mean, the storm shields hurt them. Being able to attack, and then when they die, attack again, so you lose a lot of attacks there. Being able to charge and assault like you used to be able to, that kind of hurt, because your Thunderwolves can do that, but your Wolfen can't.
Yeah.
Even though the Wolfen are giving all these auras, it's definitely a learning curve for the Wolves.
Yeah, no, it was great, man, and thank you so much for being on the channel, and thank you guys so much for watching. So stay tuned for the next battle report here at Heretic Wargaming. So that was a really, really good game, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Now, gonna go ahead and apologize. So the guy I was playing against, his name was Dave. This was our first game together, and so on his Facebook profile it had like VDub or Vic or something like that. I just thought his name was Vic the whole time. So I apologize, Dave. So yeah, Dave was the guy I played. And so let's go ahead and go over my thoughts. So my biggest thoughts with this game, with the new Space Marine Codex, they did lose a lot of utility as far as a lot of their stratagems. Now, they did gain a lot of stratagems. For example, he was able to fall back and shoot with his bikers, which was new for 1 CP. And we could not find a double flight stratagem, so he's going to look through it. It looked like maybe they lost it, but could be wrong, because he was going to use it to actually finish off that last cultist there in the middle, which would have completely spent his CP. The fact of the matter is, the 1 wound actually was a very, very big a deal in this game. You guys definitely need to be prepared to put a lot more wounds on Marines. They didn't go up nearly as much as probably they should have with the extra wound, and then they end up, you still have eradicators and all that stuff. And yeah, Space Wolves, they still hit incredibly hard. Thunderwolf Cav with 4 wounds is definitely something to be reckoned with. The fact is that the Storm Shields, so the Storm Shields did not actually, the loss of 1 invuln did not actually kind of come up that often. It did come up with the Wolfen because they have a 4-up base armor instead of a 3-up. But with the normal Space Marines, I basically had to roll at least AP2 on a weapon to actually have a huge difference. And yeah, that only came up really with the Obliterators a few times, and he was spiking his saves pretty good still on the 4-up. So it's not a bad, it's a good change, because now it's not just this dude is constantly be making 3-ups. But yeah, it definitely, it was still not, I don't know how to explain it, but it wasn't as huge of a change as I figured it was going to be. It's big, for those big guns like Meltas and stuff like that. But yeah, really, really impressed by the new Space Marine rules, and definitely looking forward to them. Space Wolves, basically the whole army being able to heroically intervene meant that, I had to kind of stay back from his units and play incredibly defensive, I guess it was. I should have been more defensive, I guess. So as far as my list, so this was a take on Austin Wingfields' list with his Black Legion and the Iron Warriors, and I will say I did not really enjoy the list. It doesn't play to my playstyle, I guess. It's incredibly, it is a little dynamic, but it's not as dynamic. It blobs up a lot. I didn't like the Noctilith Crown. I really did not like being tethered to that thing, and it was a pain in the ass to actually put it on the field. the fact of the matter is, had I not discussed this with Dave previously, that hey, are you cool with me putting like scooching this crater over a little bit and putting it here? Then yeah, I basically I would have had to put it somewhere, but it wouldn't have been an optimal place, and would have ended up not doing very. It just still didn't end up doing very much, right? For 85 points, it did keep some Cultists alive, so. Is it something that I would bank on? I think personally, I probably would have just done the Dark Apostle with the 5-up invulnerable save bubble, and yeah, I think that's about where I would go. And I'm gonna have to look and see if it has to be Iron Wars cultists or if it could have been Black Legion cultists, because I would have probably preferred to have a 30-man Black Legion squad of cultists, being able to reroll their shots and stuff like that. That I think that would have been better than the Iron Wars cultists, but I need to actually look at the stratagems and all with cannon fodder and all that. And also, I just found that I was running out of CP. I ran out of CP super quick with this list. If you're not getting the Trusted War Leader, which I did not get at all this game, I just hemorrhaged CP. And then when I ran out of CP, all my stuff just kind of went down, right? So, overall, though, wasn't a big fan of the list. Chaos Space Marines are in a weird spot. I definitely noticed the power difference with him having more wounds now, because it was a lot harder to remove him from the field. And yeah, also I did really bad on picking my secondaries, because I was not. This is my first game with this list, so I was like, well, what do I take? Especially against a list like Dave's, where like literally he wasn't giving up any of the kill secondaries at all. Grind them down wasn't a very good choice, because I had smaller, easier to remove units than he did, with cultists and stuff like that. So, but overall, thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate the game, and I hope you guys enjoyed the game. As always, like, subscribe, share. There's not much else to say. It was a very interesting game. And yeah, we'll have to think of some other Chaos Space Marine lists, because I don't think this one's for me. But I'll see you guys on the next battle report here at Heretic Wargaming.